If you have not become a patron of the Geocache Talk Network, what are you waiting for? Patron levels start as low as a Bison Tube level at $3 a month. To sign up is easy. Simply go to the Geocache Talk website and click on the Become a Patron button, or go to patreon.com/Geocache Talk. Patrons now get the famous Blackout coin, invites to special events, and other really great items throughout the year. Become a patron today.
And sponsored by SmashingPennies.net. Get 10% off your order with code Geocache Talk Network. They are perfect to put in a geocache.
Logwork, the creators of the fantastic logbook, made with genuine Write in the Rain paper. The logbook's designed for the micro containers of the present and future, geared towards the hider who'd rather go caching than doing cache maintenance. Find them at logwork.com. That's LOGWERK.com.
Have you subscribed to FTF Magazine yet? FTF Magazine is the #1 geocaching magazine available. It is a quarterly magazine that you can be part of. Submit your geocaching milestones and adventures to be published. FTF Magazine is also interactive with puzzles to solve and the hunt to find Spartacus. If you can solve the puzzle or find Spartacus, then you will be entered in to win a special pack tag. Every new subscription, you will receive a special swag pack. Subscribing is easy. Just visit FTF's website, ftfgeo.com. Don't miss out and subscribe today.
Hello and welcome to Challenge Talk, part of the Geocache Talk Network. You can watch the show live on the second Tuesday of each month. Feel free to jump over to YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter to watch the broadcast live and join the wonderful and active chat room, or listen to the entire show later on your favorite podcast player.
Ho! Tim had to leave the room for a minute, so I stepped in to wish everybody a happy holiday.
Santa, welcome to Challenge Talk.
And Tim wanted me to tell you that tonight we're going to talk about, well, you've done the basic challenge. You got your 366, you've gotten your Jasmer. So we're going to talk about what do you do next.
All right, sounds good. And we also have prizes to give away each show to our listeners. Between each show, be sure to email your challenge cache finds to challengetalkpodcast@gmail.com and you could be a winner.
Later on in the show, they're going to play a special game exclusively for the live audience. It's called the Wheel of Challenges. So Listen live, get your email app ready, and follow instructions at the time so that you can have a chance at winning tonight's grand prize and maybe something on December 24th just for you.
Woohoo! And at the end of the show, we'll highlight those challenge caches that you have sent in and someone will win. So we are your hosts, Emily and Santa.
Well, the elves are pretty busy right now, so I think I'm going to jump away and see if I can find Merlin again. I'll be right back.
Sounds
Talk amongst
good.
yourselves.
All right. Well, normally I asked him how his month has gone, and he'll ask me. So since he's not here to ask me, I'll just tell you guys. It's been a slow month. But the thing I've been working on is I signed a challenge cache in Memphis for 365 traditional cache challenge. And when I first signed that challenge, I saw that I only had 4 dates to go to fill it in with traditional caches. 3 of those 4 dates have been in the last month since the last podcast. So that's what I've been focusing on. Yesterday, I was fortunate enough to, there's Tim.
Hey, I had to step out for a minute. I had to refill my water.
Okay. Well, we had a guest while you were gone.
Yeah.
Santa popped in.
Well, it is that time of year. Great. I'm glad somebody could step in for me. I'm sorry I was gone so long.
Oh, no, that's all right. That's all right. Thanks for coming back.
So you were talking about what you did for the month?
Yeah, just working on that one challenge. And, yesterday I got to work out of town. So that's always a treat when you can find a cache somewhere else to not take up your home area caches. So that went well for me. So I have 1 day to go in that challenge, not till the end of February. So I just have to wait patiently till that date rolls around. How about you? How was your month, Tim?
That's hard. I don't know. I've been kind of slow lately. November turned out to be my lowest find count in like 3 years.
And it was probably still blew me out of the water.
I don't know, it was like 130,
Yeah, totally.
something like that. Well, I guess, now that I am a professional geocacher, that,
Right.
this is my job. I have to go out and find caches. Our local group, myself and a couple of friends, we are continuing to work on a monthly fizzy challenge.
Mhm.
And so, we may talk about it later on, but it's basically a fizzy every month of the year. And it can be in any year, but I have a lot of open squares. I'm closer than I thought I was, but I'm still trying to work on that. So
Yeah, you're working on your 6th month in a row or something, right?
I do, yeah. Yes, I have 6 months right now,
Very
and
good.
December is almost done as well for 7.
All right.
January and February are going to get a little bit tough in Michigan, but I think I've got a path and a clearer way to get there.
Very good. Very good. And that's what we'll talk about tonight, Where are our visions for ourselves? Where are we going to go after we've completed our big ones?
Right. Well, and even for others, I mean, for newer challenge cachers, I mean, what's next? How do you
Right.
find next? But we should probably talk about some news first before we
Let's
jump
go
into
for
our
it.
topic. Let's do that.
Okay.
What do we got?
Well, I know you and I are both part of the Happy Holidays mission, sending out kind of like a secret Santa Geo coin. I just heard that the folks that I sent my coin package to, it arrived today. That's always a good feeling knowing it's not lost out there in the mail
Oh,
somewhere.
I know. That's the scary part. So if you have no idea what we're talking about, Laval K9 up in Quebec, Canada, does something through the geocaching forums. And I've heard a lot of podcasts that the geocaching forums are kind of mixed. They can be kind of an unfriendly crew when you get out there, and it's hard to work with and things like that. But she uses this to promote something called the Joyous Noel, which is in French. It's a holiday mission project, and your goal is to sign up to participate in one or more missions. And a mission is simply a greeting card and a coin, an unactivated regular sized geocoin. And when you send your name to Claire, she matches you up with another geocacher somewhere in the world. And you get their name. They might get somebody else's name.
Yeah, it's not
yours.
a match for match, right? Mhm.
Right. So this year there were 118 missions. I think there's 98 participants from 8 different countries. The United States obviously is big. Canada, Netherlands, Portugal, Spain, Norway, Denmark, and England. And I know that I did 2 missions this year. One of mine went to Canada and the other one went to, I'm going to say, the Netherlands, to Denmark.
Cool.
So it's a lot of fun. If you haven't done it, they do it at Easter time, they do it at Halloween, and I always participate at Christmas. So that's a lot of fun.
Same here. Yeah, so something you can look forward to for Easter.
Right. And then we wrapped up a little something called the Podcast of Hope.
That was a lot of fun. You guys, thank you so much for your participation in that. Looking at our numbers for this year's campaign, we had the $13,000 goal. Currently, we're at $29,904.82. If you haven't donated yet, there's always time to donate at podcastofhope.com. That'd be so awesome to just see it just go right over the hump to 25,000. And of course, that's to support St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. So thank you everyone for participating.
Yeah, this was an excellent year. So next up on the discussion, on the news topic, is a Leap Day event in Texas, GCACQBJ. Everything's bigger in Texas, So this is an event that they were working very hard to make a mega event. And wouldn't it be cool if you could have a mega event on a Leap Day?
That'd be
So they're
pretty cool.
continuing to work on it, and I'm part of the promo team, so I wanted to let everybody know about it and remind one more time, they've only got till, I think, January the 4th to apply for status. So they're getting close, so you can help us out. Go for it, great.
Cool. All right. Well, let's talk about some statistics and give our monthly challenge cache location update. So take it away, Tim.
Okay. All right. So this month I looked out of December the 5th, and there are 39,443 active challenge caches in the world. And that number went up 291 from last month. Not many changes in the system, but you may or may not remember Just Finding Our Way, thank you, John, posed a challenge to me and said, what's that percentage of challenge caches to regular caches? Now, thanks go out to John, because he not only asked the question, but backed it up.
Okay.
Unfortunately, he sent me the email after I had already gone through all of the stats.
You had fun on the journey, right?
I was. The challenge was accepted, and I had to do it. So, and I did double check our numbers, and our numbers came out really, really close, because I think we probably did it the same morning. So, for those of you that are curious, I didn't re-rank the numbers, but what I did was there's 39. These are based on the November stats, not the December stats.
Okay.
There were 39,152 challenge caches in the world. There are 3,379,794 caches in the world. So on average, challenge caches represents 1.16% of the known caching world.
Okay.
So that was kind of my baseline.
Mm-hmm.
So then I went through, I haven't done every country in the world because I don't know that I've gotten to that detail. I've done 23 different countries that represent 96% of that number.
Okay.
That's close enough for me. I'm good with that. The United States checks in with a 1.61 percentage of challenge caches to overall caches.
Mm-hmm.
One of the lowest in the world is Japan. They have 26 challenge caches compared to 32,319 caches.
So we need to promote
0.08.
challenges in Japan.
Yes. So any of our Japanese listeners, challenge accepted. Now, the other end of the scale is actually Denmark.
Okay.
Denmark has 729 challenge caches and 34,721 caches for a 2.1%. So they're leading the way.
Amazing.
Oh, and as I look at my stats, I'm wrong.
Uh-oh.
Norway is actually 2.37. Sorry, Denmark. Sorry, Norway. So if you're looking for challenges, those are two countries to go to.
That sounds fun.
Yeah. So then we took the United States as well. And we're going to put it in the show notes. We're going to talk a little bit about it. We have a new listener, goes by the name of the Cheeky Brit. And that rings a bell for some. I must have met him somewhere along the way because it really sounds familiar. Anyway, goes by the name of Matt as well. And Matt listened to the show and picked up the challenge as well. Thank you, Matt. Matt went way deeper than I was planning to go in this. So we're going to put the email that Matt sent in the show notes. So if you want to break this down by population, by land mass, because obviously you can't put caches any more than 528 feet.
Mhm.
So a really small city like Washington, D.C., they can only have so many caches.
Right.
So by geographic area, they have a lot of coverage. But somebody like Alaska, which has a lot of landmass, they don't. So kind of interesting. Again, US was 1.61 was our average for the United States. California, which is the top ranked number of challenge caches, only has a 1.05 percentage
Okay.
of challenges versus non. So where in the United States do you think you could go to find the most challenges?
I would say your area is pretty good.
Michigan is good, but you would be wrong. We're at 2.16.
2.16. And what was California?
1.05.
Okay, so
we
you're doing
double
better.
California
Yeah, okay.
just by raw numbers.
All right.
But South Carolina
South Carolina.
has 216 challenge caches and 4,916 caches for a whopping percentage of 4.39%.
All right. Now we all know where we need to vacation to.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. We had some other guesses in the chat of Ohio or Texas or Arizona. So yeah, South Carolina. Cool.
South Carolina. Arizona is 1.42.
Uh-huh.
Florida is 2.4.
And what's
Ohio came in at 1.7.
Okay. You got
So
Texas?
just for the guesses that were there. So good guesses. Once again, thank you, John, for asking the question and sending the data in. And thank you, Matt, for taking the deep dive on these numbers. So I thought they were kind of interesting.
Yeah, very cool. That's what a lot of us are really into, deep diving these stats. So it's fun. Thanks.
The
Thanks for
nerdiness
doing
part
that,
of this.
everyone. Yeah, that's us. All right. Well, now we're going to talk about our main topic, the kind of the question that we posed just by the existence of this episode. Now what? So when we say now what, we're talking about, many people go for some big challenges right away when they learn about challenges, when they realize whether they catch the bug or they realize what they can achieve. So we've got Jasmer Challenge, which is finding a cache in every month and year since geocaching started. We've got your Fizzy Challenge, which is filling in your difficulty and terrain chart. And then we have the 365 or 66 challenge, finding a cache on every day of the year. So, a question. How do you define a challenge cache?
Yeah. So I thought this one was interesting. So we define a challenge cache as a regular container-based cache, a physical cache that has an additional logging requirement on it that you must achieve. You must achieve in order to claim the smiley for that. There's an attribute specifically that has to be placed on the cache page when you build it. And so that creates the challenge. And, if you're new to the show, that's what we're all about, is finding these challenge attribute type caches.
Yeah, and every set of our show notes linked to every show, we have a link to the challenge cache guidelines, the official guidelines from headquarters. So that defines out all of the nuances of challenge caching.
Right. And the big three that we talked about. So 366 days is the calendar based, and it's not defined as a single year. A single year would be a streak.
Right. Right.
where you would find one cache, at least one cache every day for 365 days of the year. There are a number of guidelines. We won't go into the gold guidelines tonight. We've done shows on that, but you can't do 366. You can only do 365. And so the other way to do it is to have the 365. So I found every calendar date I have found a cache on.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been caching since 2006, so it has taken me X number of years to find a cache on every particular day of the year. And you said you have one in February open yet, right?
Yeah. So, and that's the difference between all the different types of challenges. I finished my date calendar when I moved and came to a whole new area and could fill in my dates very easily. So I've had my calendar finished for a good 12 years, I believe. But I'm currently working on a traditional type calendar. And
Okay,
so,
there's the spin. There's
Yes.
the what's next. So if
Yes.
you do a 366, now you can spin it to say every X, every traditional, mystery,
Mhm.
multi, Earth
Just getting
cache.
harder and harder the more you talk, Tim. All those different.
The only one that's
options.
really a major challenge right now is webcams. I'm not sure you can find 366 webcams in the world to find one on every day,
Exactly.
unfortunately.
Exactly. That's a big no-go. Yeah.
So that one's going to be really, really, really tough. So that really is. So, we looked at what is the Fizzy challenge? Well, the Fizzy challenge is to find a 1-1 through 5-5, all 81
Combination
caches.
Mm-hmm.
And they can be of any type, any size, any container. So, okay, you've done that. Now what? Spin it. How about a Fizzy by type? Do you have a traditional Fizzy or an unknown Fizzy?
Right.
Or a multi-Fizzy? Or the
Earth
one that
Cache
I'm
Fizzy
working
is
on?
pretty popular.
Yeah, how about a Fizzy by month?
I can't even imagine to start that one. Right.
And I do know that the Jasmer Challenge, which is the Jasmer Challenge, is to find a cache from May of 2000 through today, or this month, through December of 2023.
Mm-hmm.
That one's an ongoing challenge. You lose qualification on the 31st of every month. So you have to keep extending it.
Yes.
But you can also do a Jasmer by type.
Mm-hmm.
So Where It Goes, for instance, weren't released until 2005, I think. So you can do a Jasmer of Where I Go from that date forward. And again, the same thing qualifies. There's a GeoChecker, and we'll have some numbers in the show note where you can look at these. And so if you're a new cacher, just trying to get some of these is the challenge. But if you're an experienced cacher, that's when spinning it, looping it, really comes
every
into
one
play.
of these challenges can be looped. And let's see here. My eyesight's a little bad. RAG88.
Rich Reagan.
Rich Reagan. Gosh, thank you. It says if you have a quad Jasmer, you need at least 4 finds a month to stay qualified. And so really, as I was working towards even my double Jasmer, that's always been my goal, is to loop it looking way ahead to quad Jasmer. Where do I need to fill in on any given month? So presently, other than November and December of this year, I've got quad for 2002 forward. And getting towards quad Jasmer, I don't know how many years that's going to take me. I'm still, just finished quad this year. Very, very good. Congratulations. So yeah, I'm just always looking for how can I fill that in so I'm ready for that fourth loop, which is the highest loop you can get. Yeah, and
Yeah, and this is, oops, shoot, we both clicked on it at the same time.
yeah, Tiger Eye
So as we talk about
1017.
Jasmer and we talk about looping it, that yes, currently in the world, and that's an important distinction, 3 of those caches are in the United States, but the 4th one is in Sweden, and there's only 4 active August of 2000 caches. So if you have a quad Jasmer, that is really, really special. And you're done, basically at that point. Now, then you start working on your by type Jasmer or by size Jasmer. And I don't know if the size one I haven't seen a checker for, so that would be interesting.
Yeah, so I'm curious, who in our show notes, who's watching live, let us know if you've done all 3 of these big ones, these big, typically first big challenges that people work towards, and what you're doing next. I saw here in the notes, let's see. Seebeck Tribe said, I'm working on my events for 366 days. That'll take a few years to fill it. True, but it's nice. You can hide lots of events for things you need. I'm also working on a challenge. Again, signed it in Memphis. It's going to take me a very long time. Filling my calendar with non-traditional cache types. And one piece of control I have over that is that I could hide events or host events to fill in some of those dates.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and then, as we talk about this doesn't necessarily apply to me because this particular one doesn't excite me, but it might excite someone else, which is going into counties and linking counties. And I had lunch today with a good friend, Max B, on the river, and she's done a lot of challenge caches down in the Niles, Michigan area. And I learned that she and a friend are going to Alaska in 2024, where she will finish every county in the United States. She will have
wow.
a cache. Yeah. that to me is mind-boggling.
Huge. Oh my goodness.
Now, some of her challenges are to connect the northern border to the southern border of the United States, connecting ocean to ocean, connecting 10 states. She's got a lot of different connecting and county kind of challenges. So, those are out there. And, when we talk about what's next, maybe that's the thing to work on.
Yeah, maybe you are inspired by maps, by counties, states, DeLorme.
DeLorme, what's that?
Oh, do you want me to get my beloved DeLorme Atlas out? Ooh, I love that atlas.
It's an atlas? Really? Tell me more about it.
So
I've done it.
Every state has a DeLorme Atlas, and it is a blown up atlas of the state. And so, for example, Oregon doesn't quite have 88 pages, but because there's a lot of pages that don't have a map on it. But for example, you need to find a cache on page wherever it starts, and then in Oregon up to page 88. And then Oregon even has a twist on page 88, but we don't have to get into that. So you're finding a cache on every page of the blown up area of that state's atlas.
Interesting. Okay, that's another reason why I haven't gotten into it.
Yeah, so people will work on their counties and their DeLorme at the same time. It can be a little tricky if you're not paying really good attention, because you might not line it up just right. But people who are into that, they're going to get deep into that. They're going to know. They're going to make that road trip count. We all have that thing that talks to us, right? As much as I've said it here many times, as much as I love filling in states and DeLorme and whatever counties, I just can't get that committed. I would love to.
Yeah, I
think people linking their counties is amazing, and I can't commit to that right now.
No, if I'm traveling and I connect a county, great.
That's great, right?
Here's our cheeky Brit again. Let's be real. We're secretly working on this one. This one is good from our good friend Jeff, And, Bruce Zero, the Iron Man Bingo Challenge. I would
Yeah.
love to secretly work on this. It's all about the streak for that
Right.
challenge.
Right. So that's
And
our GC3D5EB. That's that amazingly tough challenge that Jeff has put
Yeah.
out for us. Oh, Streak 2 says, don't forget about the Delorme inserts. So yeah, you really just got to look at the each state and what their requirements look like.
oh my gosh, that's incredible. So, and one of the other things that we definitely want to bring up as part of our, when we say what's next, I mean, what's next, if you're new, might be the 366 challenge.
Yeah.
I know that there are some challenges for souvenirs, like to get 25 or to get 50 or something like that. And so, we definitely want to make sure that as a geocaching community, we cover all of the bases. And for those of us that have been in the game for a lot longer, yeah, some of these challenges are very, very easy. And I've had several conversations with folks at HQ. If you're a newer cacher, you may not remember or you may not know that challenge caches went through a period of darkness, and they were stopped for a while as HQ revised the guidelines on what could be a challenge and how a challenge could be made, because some of the challenges were just getting ridiculous and they were so difficult. They didn't require any background. And while they might be fun, they were just starting to push that envelope a little bit more. And so HQ cut that way back and said, well, here's some of the rules. And it has changed, again, for some of us experienced cachers that are looking for a challenge. I know as I look around the states and where I'm traveling and what kind of caches I need to get, there aren't a lot of challenges that I don't already qualify for just because I've been in the game for a long time.
Yeah, very true.
So, but that's okay. I can be challenged now by, like I said, fizzy by type. I can do fizzy by size. I can do fizzy by month. I can do the Jasmers by all of those, and I'm not there yet. And many of those require research. They require travel. And isn't that obviously what we're all looking for? The places we go, the people we meet.
Yeah, this is exactly how other than specific events that I might want to hit up throughout the year, geocaching events, this is how I figure out where I want to go. I don't necessarily have a goal of a specific place in mind, but once I start looking through my stats and how can I get there? So for example, yeah, I'm working towards Quad Jasmer, very, very slowly, but absolutely also always in the forefront of my mind. And so where are those trips going to take me? Because that's the challenge I'm working on. Whether or not I ever sign that specific logbook for any given challenge, I'm looking at my stats and figuring out, how can I level this up? How can I loop it? How can I add on to it? How can I make it more diverse? Yeah, we're talking to our own people here, the people who love the stats, our fellow nerds, and this is what we do and what we think about.
Right. So, and I think, to keep my fingers crossed, my wife is not a big geocacher. She'll tolerate me when we go. We have gone on specific geocaching vacations, but I have to include some sightseeing for her. One of her girlfriends took a Mediterranean cruise, and she thought that would be outstanding. So I asked her if maybe in 2024 or 2025, which is an anniversary year for us, maybe we could do a Baltic cruise, which would be different than her friend, but it would happen to stop in Stockholm. And she didn't say no. So I'm excited.
Well, very good luck, Tim. Very good luck to you.
And I know the chat room's been talking about the 360-degree challenge.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't sure this one could be published, but
No, I don't think it can be anymore. Chat, correct me if I'm wrong. So this is finding caches in a 360-degree radius, where from your home coordinates, it's very, very small areas of space that a cache has to be in for you to fill that out. So you have to go farther and farther and farther for that radius to expand. Where you might be finding a cache way out here to fill in that spoke of the wheel, if you will.
right. And I guess that was one of the challenges that I had looked at. The challenge of challenges is that, okay, I'd like to do this. How do I find a checker for it? How do I find, if assuming I can find a checker to find out whether I qualify or not, how do I find a cache that goes with that challenge?
Yeah, so you've got an idea. What are you going to do with it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So in the 360, I've looked at that 360 and I've completed one loop of my 360, which is really kind of hard in Michigan because we're the Great Lakes state. On 3 of our borders, we have what is a big body of water to cross. So I can't go that far. And there's only so far. Those poor folks that live in the city of Detroit, they have Canada right next to them. So it's like I got to go to another country just to get 360.
So Tim, you're getting on projectgc.com to find these tools to check yourself, right?
Oh, yeah. Which again, I have to congratulate. Maybe congratulate might be the wrong word. Our new friend Matt, the cheeky Brit, he sent me this.
And while you pull that up, I'm gonna pop up on the screen, and I can see it better now. Sorry, Rich Reagan. Definitely now I can see. If you're working on the Cache Across America challenge, the final location moved today. Check the webpage for an update in a day or two. So very good point.
Okay, that's good to know because that is a challenge. That's another challenge. That's a hard challenge that I know a lot of people are working on. So within Project GC, there is the tools that are available in the checker system. And oh my gosh, there are user statistics, find statistics, FTF related statistics. Again, some of these can have challenges related to them. Some of them don't. But I thought, for instance, okay, Alphabet Challenge. The Alphabet Challenge, when I click on that, is again a script, and this is not a checker, which means there isn't a challenge written for this, but it's something you can work on and something to challenge yourself with. So I'm going to run it for me. I do not fill this challenge, but this challenge is finding a cache with the cache name A through Z. And I do qualify.
Look at that beautiful picture that helps you see. I love it when a challenge checker has graphics like that.
So the green check mark over here, I have fulfilled the traditional. I've got 25 multis. I need an X multi. So now I can go into the search tool and find that. I haven't done a lot of CEDOs. I need to get some different names for my CEDOs. And I have only 16 webcam caches. So this is one of the tools in this tool.
Just another way that Project GC has so many twists on our statistics that we're interested in.
Right. And I never knew about this.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And so,
yeah, this is great. So we have the link up on the screen right now, and we'll also have that in the show notes so you can just easily click on it.
And again, a shout out and a slap across the head to the cheeky Brit.
who's going to get us
since
all
I didn't need this
in trouble
rabbit
with our
hole to
time.
go down.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, so thanks to him, and also, Nell sends his thanks out. I mean, those of us that really look for challenges, this is cool.
Yeah. This is very cool.
All right, with that, that's our topic.
Yeah. And we want to say, not only look for what you can qualify for, but look for what you can hide too. What next could absolutely be, now that I've qualified for something, I qualify to hide it too, so maybe you can bring some of these really hard challenges to your community if you've qualified for them. Maybe you can bring a twist on this, on these challenges to hide them. Matthew says, "Oh, this is the biggest rabbit hole you ever did see. I apologize to the muggles in your life." That's great. So yeah, what challenges can you hide in your area? They're going to inspire other people to get into challenges. I know for my area, I'm trying to get people into challenges. So I'm hiding things that have a theme that might catch my local community's attention, as well as not being so overly involved that they look at the cache page and immediately shut it and don't work on it and don't think of it again.
Right. And I like this one from the Terravators, that, having a mogul partner does keep life in balance. And I can absolutely agree with this. My spouse keeps me balanced. If I'm going on a geocaching trip, I would do 25, 30, 35 caches in a day. No way. She does 4 or 5 and she's tired. So
all right. B and J Bish are in our chat room. They are like an addicted geocaching couple. Let us know what you guys think. Do you feel the need for any balance in your life, or are you guys happy with how it's going? That's great.
Cool. All right. I lost the graphic again. I think it's time to play the Wheel of Challenges. What do you think?
Let's do it.
All right.
One live viewer each month will be selected to face off against the wheel to have a chance to win the grand prize, which is a 1-year membership on Project GC. And we do ask that you limit yourself to 3 wins total. But to enter, let's get our banner up. We would like you to email challengetalkpodcast@gmail.com with the subject "Spin Me" and your geocaching username in brackets with your answer to this question: which U.S. state has the highest percentage of challenges to caches? So I'm going to jump over to email. Everybody start sending in your answers as quickly as possible, and we'll see who answers correctly first to face off against our wheel.
Ooh, I wonder what's going to be this.
I know,
that's
right?
tough. I remember we talked about a lot of different numbers.
Different numbers, different locations.
Highest percentage.
Do you remember?
I think I know what that one is. I think I do. Let's see if somebody in our show does.
We do have our first correct answer sent in by, congratulations, Cheeky Brit, and the answer was South Carolina. So Cheeky Brit.
Wow, that might have been a little unfair because he put that together.
But he was quick. And he got the answer in. So Cheeky Brit, welcome to the show and welcome to the game on your very first show.
All right, so here we go. Let's spin the wheel and see what he gets.
And while you're spinning, B and J Bish said balance is 1 more cache. That's great.
All right. So now we have, it's only a 3 difficulty. It is an iconic challenge. And it's going to work this time. It's an archive challenge. To qualify the challenge, you need to find 9 or more cache types in a single day.
All right.
So the checker says 126 yeses and 286 nos.
And we don't have a difficulty on that one, do we? Tim and I were talking about that before the show, where I was like, oh yeah, all of those checkers have a difficulty on them. And that's not necessarily true.
Matt says he's the world record holder. He's got this one.
All right, let's make it
And he
official.
does. There's a green
Yes,
light.
and he does. So congratulations. We will send the
14
Cheeky Brit.
cash types. Oh, so
1
he
year
did
that-
this. He was part of it. Maybe that's where I met him. This was part of the crew from Midwest Geobash in 2021. This was one of the few places because they had the maze and there was a webcam cache that was like 2.5 hours away. So 14, I think I heard someone that was also there got 15 only because he flew out to California that afternoon.
Wow.
And so
and
he got
a
the
different-
3 hour, he got the 3 hours back because of the time difference. And he was able to go get the Ape cache or the HQ cache in the same day. So he got 15.
Wow, that's pretty
But
awesome.
that's incredible. So
Congrats.
congratulations, Cheeky Brit. Welcome to the show. That's fantastic.
Yes, very good.
Just cleaning up.
Yeah,
All right. Oh, I lost my notes. So
that's all right.
Okay.
So now we're going to move on to our monthly challengers. Every month we give a congratulatory shout out to listeners who email us proof of qualifying and logging a challenge cache since the last show. Anyone who sends an email to challengetalkpodcast@gmail.com with the GC code having a found it log and we love pictures from the past month will be entered for the prize giveaway of our Challenge Talk path tag. So here's a few of the interesting challenges we heard about from our listeners this month.
And the first one was sent in by Caching with Hailmeister. And this is GC AB G3C. It's an easy Earth cache challenge. It's rated 4.4, so I'm not sure how easy this particular one is. So you need to find a 1-1 Earth cache in 10 different states.
In 10 different states.
And I looked at this and I think I qualify, but a 1-1 rating is really a difficult Earth cache to find.
Right, because Earth caches have that whole scientific element and observe your surroundings and make observations that you send to the cache owner. Yeah, a 1 difficulty.
Yeah. Now this
It's kinda
also
low for an Earth cache.
right. Jason said that it's 20 feet up in a tree. So he had to use his telescope, his new telescoping reach tool to get this one.
Very
So
fun.
it's a hard challenge. It's a hard challenge to get, and it's yeah, you need a tot.
What's
to
that
retrieve
rating
it.
on Project GC Checker there?
It's only a 67.
Okay, 67 out of 100.
So there are a lot of places and a lot of people that do qualify. I qualify for it, but I haven't been to Rockford to sign this one.
Challenge accepted, right?
Yeah, there you go.
All right. Our next submission is from Team Talwagger. This is GC A0ZX4, the EGG Challenge 26 North, I presume that, 26N. Bemused, bewildered, baffled. And this is finding 10 mystery caches with a difficulty of 2 or higher. I like this. This is, taking a very black and white type of statistic and giving it a fun name that catches people's attention.
Yeah, and this is another one that was put up this year by Team Doxy. They're in the Midwest Geobash area, and they did a challenge trail. And I know we've highlighted several of the challenges that are on this
We get a
trail.
number of submissions from this trail. So yeah, a lot of you are accessing the trail or working on qualifying for it after you signed the logs at one point. So yeah, keep them coming.
So in our next one, again, we've been talking about the Cheeky Brit a lot tonight, but he sent this one in, GC53XZD. This one's a 5.5 Super Olympic Tricachelon Challenge. So the challenge here is to work on the 4 race types, which is a sprint, Olympic, half marathon, Ironman. And you have to find X number of caches in a single day.
Yeah, there's a few different qualifications on how to do this cache. And it looks like he took one of the options, the option to find, whoops, I'm not sure I have that right in front of me. But yeah, he took one of the options. He tried to achieve it once on the ET highway, but there was not enough multis. So then he just recently was able to finish it on a second attempt.
Yeah, so to get any of the medals, you have 24 hours to complete the challenge. And it has to be done in the same day. So you cannot start at noon today and finish up at noon tomorrow. So while it's 24 hours, it has to be the same date on the challenge. So you can start at midnight and you run till 11:59. And if you complete the challenge in 22 hours, you get bronze, 19 hours is silver, and 17 hours is the gold medal. 17 hours is a strict cutoff for Ironman triathlon events. So an Ironman is 240 traditionals, 112 multi-caches, and 26 unknown. 378 caches in a single day. Holy moly. Let's move on to the next one.
That's a lot. That's a lot, isn't it? So the next one was, next one submitted by Rody Guy, GCA4BZ4, the 10 in 10 challenges. Find caches in at least 10 different provinces or states. The challenge twist is that each of the 10 finds has to be a different cache type or icon.
Ah, okay. This one's a 53 challenge. And I must not have run the checker for it because it doesn't know whether I qualify or not for it. All right. Our friend Bloody Cool sent in this one, and this one goes back to the founding of our country. Awesome. So it's a challenge cache placed in honor of the 13 original colonies of the United States. In order to qualify, you need to find one physical kind of cache, and so they do specify what does and doesn't count. And they have to be in Connecticut, Delaware, Georgia, Maryland. So you have to find them in those particular states. This one is more of a, I'm going to say a beginner kind of challenge because it does have a cache rating of 30, which means there's a lot of people that qualify for this one. Overall, throughout the world, throughout the area. So that's a good one.
Yeah, cool.
And this one you added on me late, so I got to get this one.
Yeah. So we got a last minute submission. So even Tim, hey, last minute submission, Tim. But we'll take them if you guys have them at the right before the show. We'll do our best to check that out. And we are able to read off all our challenges this month. But even if we don't, we do get everyone's submission and try to find a winner out of everyone who submitted. So this last one is submitted by Acorn Mama. This is GCA6ZRR. I think I'm reading that right. I got a spot on my screen. Okay. This is the quasi challenge. Find each of the 8 main cache types: traditional, multi, puzzle, where I go, earth cache, event, virtual, and letterbox in every month of the year. So I thought that was a nice one, really in the vein of what we were talking about tonight, not just in filling in those months, but filling in those months in multiple layers.
Yeah. So this one is an 80 on the difficulty scale.
Oh, okay.
All right. I'm gonna be embarrassed, maybe. Oh, I qualify for this one. So this is how it's laid out. Cool. Yeah, again, my hat's off to the folks that write these checkers. Some are just basic, simple ones, and then others like this one have a lot of graphics behind it.
I sure do love ones with the graphics. It makes it so easy
it's got my event
really
types.
Just check yourself out. Because I looked at my stats, and where you have all those GC codes in kind of a rectangle, Mine have just 3 missing spots, and they're in red instead of blue, so my eyes go straight to them. I love that kind of stuff.
Oh, that's great. So
Yeah.
yeah, once again, thank you to everybody that submitted. And don't we give something away to people that submit when do we have a drawing?
We do. So we randomize names before the show, and for maybe the second or third time, Cheeky
What?
Brit wins and takes the whole show as far as prizes go. So congratulations, Cheeky Brit. Well
All right,
done.
and
for
sorry
your
to the
very
rest of
first-
our audience.
Yeah, well done for your very first time participating in our show. Thanks for finding us. Thanks for contributing. Thanks for playing. All that good stuff.
Wow. All right. So remember that our next show is going to be the second Tuesday of the month. And so we've got a lot of friends in the chat room this month, which is great to see. We swapped. We just started this last
thanks
month.
so
Was
much
our
for
first
coming
Tuesday.
and following us to Tuesdays. Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you for doing that. January the 9th, one day before a special day on my calendar every year. So we'll see you on the second Tuesday of the month. The show notes are going to be put up shortly after the show airs. You'll find them in the video description. And this month's quote comes from Walter Annenberg, which I had to look up who Walter was. Walter was an American businessman who said the test of character is having the ability to meet challenges.
I love it for us. Very good. Very good. Thank you, everyone, for watching and listening. Remember, it's not about the numbers, it's about the challenge.
Challenge accepted.
Yes.
And happy holidays to everybody. We will see you. Hope you all have a wonderful holiday season, a happy new year, and we will see you all again in 2024. Don't forget to get your souvenirs.
That's right. We have year end, last
Year end and a year
2023.
beginning.
Welcome 2024. Yeah, it's going to be great. All right. Good night, everyone.
Good night.